for a minute. Who's your competition? Yeah, everybody in here is your competition. Who else?
Other graduates from other state universities.
Exactly. So what does that mean? Well, but it means something more than everybody, but everybody is your competition. So who gets the best jobs out of college, typically?
People who know someone.
The ones that market themselves the best.
Anything else? The kids who go to the Ivy League schools. My son never looked for a job. Anderson Cooper called him. He was in a secret society and said, hey, you need a job, dude? That's how it went. So let's put the Ivy Leagues aside, because they have a network that's unbelievable. You can't touch it. I wasn't able to touch it when I graduated. So the Ivy Leagues are over here. They're your stiff competition, okay? Because in Ivy League schools and in liberal arts school, UT versus USF, we're teaching you to think. We're teaching you to sit in class, and then you go out there and exponentially, you put your hands on the stuff and you learn. And you come back and I say, you didn't do this or you didn't do that, did you think about this? And you go back out there again, okay? Exponential learning means you are putting your hands on it. You guys are doing mostly classroom learning. Nothing wrong with that. I think there's room for both. You need a little bit of both. But you're not going to get what you need showing up to class every day at USF. Everybody got that? Trust me on this. My kids at UT, the same thing. So what do you need to do to round out your education experience?
Experience, networking, internships.
Perfect. And I heard you say leadership?
I said
Internships, okay. And leadership. When I graduated in 1979, I know y'all weren't born there, don't rub it in. I graduated from FSU. I was the student body president, the first woman president in student government history in the state of Florida. That's so pitiful. It was 1979, y'all. We could do anything back then. It wasn't that big a deal, but for some reason it was a big deal. So what I didn't know at the time, and what you realize, is that Fortune 200 companies are right now sitting in their offices somewhere saying, who are the student body presidents on all the state campuses where there are programs that we're interested in? Could be business, could be communications, you never know. So when I was a junior, American Hospital, IBM, Xerox, Eli Lilly, and P&G started courting me. I had no idea why. I liked it though. They call it, you want to go to dinner? Sure. These informal interviews, and then when I got to be a senior, they started basically competing against each other for my services to hire me. I never understood it, but I get it now. I was managing back then a budget of $1.6 million, and I'm a 21-year-old kid. So they figure, hey, if she can manage that big of a budget at 21, imagine where she'll be when she's 35, and if we get her, we're getting leadership that's proven. Everybody get that? So my first rule is get out and get involved in something. Now, I'm not a proponent of what I call serial joining. You know, like you're this club, this club, you got 84 clubs. But I do like a few clubs, and I do like leadership. I want to see some growth and responsibility. Okay? You got to be the president of something for me to look seriously at you. And I don't want you to be the president of the toe ring club. I want you to be the president of something that's substantial that I can track. That student government, your sorority, your fraternity, Black Caucus, I really don't care what it is. But something that's trackable. Okay? How many of you are Greeks? No Greeks in here? Well, you can't be like, you're Greek or you're not.
Well, we're in a co-ed fraternity.
So you're not nationally church?
No.
What house?
Same time.
Is that tall? Okay. Nobody else? Okay. If you're not Greek, you better get involved in something like Greek. Because guess who the #1 recruits on college campuses are? Greeks. Now, I know what y'all say. I don't want to be like that. They're all herd mentality. Oh, those girls are so stupid. Those boys are drink best. I get it. I get all that. But those are really excuses. Because joining something requires a commitment. And kids today, we know this by population studies and demographic studies. Y'all don't like to commit. And the workplace is struggling with that. If you don't like it, you quit too. And a lot of kids your age and a little bit ahead of you are not maintaining employment. So if you want to get the best jobs, you've got to be able to commit. And how do you show your commitment to somebody who doesn't know you? A 4-year track record in an organization that we can track. Okay? So if it's not Greek, find something, comparable. Ryan, what's the thing you're involved in?
Sport clubs program?
Yeah, sport clubs would be fine. PRSSA is great. But if you're in PRSSA, make sure you're attending. Make sure you're doing your part to strengthen the program. I mean, I've spoken to this club many times, and it's always ragtag. When I go to the University of Florida and speak to their PRSSA, there's 200 kids in there at their general meetings. So do your part to build this club. Because then when you're starting the interview, you can say, well, when I started PRSSA, we had, I think there's 50 kids in here. No.
I don't count.
Yeah, I think there's 30. So we started with 30 kids, and at the time I graduated, I was in charge of membership, and we raised that 4 times to whatever 30 times 4 is. I can't do math. And I'm not even ashamed of it anymore. I hate math. I pay somebody to do my math. Okay? So the point is that have something that's demonstrative that you had an active role in. Just because you came to meetings for 4 years, it's okay. Not good enough for my standard. Okay? Make sense? So let's say that you're in PRSSA, you are in the sports club, you volunteer in the community. What would be an idea of a volunteer opportunity for somebody studying PR?
Working with companies that do big events, or working with companies that work with PR to
Internships and working with companies, like you said, either as a volunteer or if you need a job. Like I had to work like 8 jobs when I was in college. I made jobs. Like I taught swimming at the university pool, and every parent that would come with their kid, do you need private lessons? I do. Oh great, I'll be at your house at 6 in the morning. You have got to create your own opportunities. So if you want an internship with the Hillel Foundation, and Hillel's not on this campus, but they're at UT, call Hillel. Get moving. Get moving. Don't wait for Hillel to come knock on your door. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And guess what? There's 45 kids knocking on my door every week saying, will you just courtesy interview me? So where are you in that 45? You're 46. Are you really going to get to the front of the line? No. I don't have that kind of time.
I have kind of a side question. I think a lot of us are graduating in May, and I'll admit I haven't been as active as I could have been. I work a lot. What should we do now to...
Ooh, great question. First of all, if you work a lot, how many of you in here have a job? How many of you work more than 20 hours a week? How many of you work more than 30? Excellent. Y'all have a good shot at a job. Here's what you want to say. Every cover letter, I have participated in the funding of my education. I have worked an average of 30 hours a week. Okay? That to me, you can't work in my firm if you haven't had a part-time job. Because you know what? If you have it, you're lazy and you can't manage your time. And besides, who in college doesn't need to work? Y'all sit around on your butts and get fat and, smoke weed and do all that other crap that is completely counterproductive. So if you are not working and you come to my firm, I'm like weed head, lazy bum. No. Okay? So you need to work.